Well, good morning, everyone. It's Bettina Carey once more, and I am saying hello, world, because the We Empower You community just hosted its 5th summit, the We Empower You Global Virtual Summit yesterday, and we were in 7th heaven for 12 hours, and we started at 8:30 a.m., we went to 8:30 p.m., and it was just full of wonderful opportunities and information and connections and you name it. And today we're coming back to you live here with the virtual version of our We Empower You empowerment circles. And these are critical conversations that we have with one another to get more clear about who we are, what we do from our heart, so that you can get what's close to your heart closer to the money. And I'm here today with Lee Romanoff, who's going to also be presenting, as well as myself. And we're just going to kick the self-imposed limitations to the curb. And we're also kicking the 30-second pitch to the curb. So you're going to have plenty of time to introduce yourself. If you'd like to be a part of this event today, it goes from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. You can pop in whenever you like. Go to weempoweryourlife.com, click on the calendar tab, and join us. That's where our Zoom links live. So with that said, let me welcome and have Lee Romanoff introduce herself. Maybe just start with your thoughts about what happened yesterday. And, you were a major presenter. I think you had 4 or 5 deliveries in the room. Tell us what you thought, Lee. Take it away. Unmute. Oh, Lee, you're still muted. I'll keep talking until you come back. She might still actually be on a phone call. So I did have most everybody here at this meeting, I believe, was at the summit. So I'd love for us to start this meeting out with talking about what you got out of the summit. So Troy, why don't you go ahead and start?
I'm laughing that you called on me first because I'm thinking to myself, well, what would I want to say? And I was reaching here for a notebook to look because I'd be better with the visual aid to kind of stimulate my brain.
Yeah.
You know, for me, since I've been part of the group 4 or 5 months now, some of it was hearing it again, but there's value to that because we often get a deeper understanding of things when we hear it over and over again, or maybe it's heard in a different way. So that's one piece of the puzzle. What else did I want to? Sorry, my brain works better with the visual aid to stimulate my thinking here.
Absolutely. Overall, oh, go ahead.
Oh, let's see. Well, I mentioned this last night that I really enjoyed C.L. King. It's a perfect example of deciding how you want to see the world. You know, there are those that see it as I act upon the world, I create my future, I create my success, and then those that say, well, the world acts upon me, and I don't have I have little control over it. And so he's definitely one of those people who has chosen to use his negative past experiences to grow from those, and he chooses to be one of those people who says, I create my future, and the way that I think, the things that I do, that create my success and that create where I'm going. And so I just enjoyed listening to him. He has lots of energy. I appreciate his humor. And so he's somebody particular that I remember from yesterday.
Fantastic. And what a great opportunity to, you both share a military background. He was in the Marine Corps. You were in the Army. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Dad too. And so I loved hearing his speech because he just has that command that you need in the military. So, basically commanding us.
Yeah. That reminds me of the story. It's the story he was telling about getting all the children together to get out the door for church. And I remember how he put it, but like, we've got to go. This needs to happen now.
Yeah. Wonderful. Okay. I'm going to call on John Webster as well, because I know you spent most of the day with us.
Yeah, so It was really fabulous. I learned a lot. I think my favorite part was Brian talking about the humanity and the marketing because I do a lot of marketing. I do website design and marketing funnels. So I thought that was really interesting in what he had to share. So
Yeah, Brian's both of his presentations were very, very good. And on top of which, there's so much that you have to almost go back and re-listen to it, right? So we do and have recorded every session that was on the main stage and some of the ones that were on the breakout sessions. So be sure to return to that at some point.
yep.
Great. All right. How about I call on Art next? Oh, unmute.
I got a chance to use a new application thanks to you. I hadn't used it before, which was spotlighting. And that
Oh,
was
yes.
like, that was really, that really added a lot of value because last time we didn't have that feature that I knew of. And, sometimes, somebody would cough and you would get on, you would go back to them or the dog would bark or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was so good to be able to have that focus. I think it added more production value to what we did. And so it was really good.
Yeah. What was your favorite session?
I think I did enjoy CL King. I really enjoyed the African candidates, both Romero and Gibson.
Mhm.
And I just thought that they spoke from the heart, and they just were very, very, very dedicated, resolute men. I just love that. It's, CL King was dynamite.
Yeah.
So those are the most joy I got. I mean, it was just like, yeah, I was saying yes. I was just, just kind of nodding affirmatively with everything they said.
Sure thing. Thank you so much, Art. And obviously, a great big thanks and a gratitude from my heart because you were actually involved on the back end, putting this together. And, without you and Janet and Aggie, as well as Lee, this event could not have been so streamlined. So thank you so much. Next up, I've got Sandra Early and Wilma Fontroy. Are you guys gonna go ahead and get your camera on, or are you gonna talk without your camera on? And unmute. There you
I'm going to talk without the camera, but I will defer my comments to Sandra. But I thought the whole presentation, the whole seminar was excellent. So Sandra.
Oh, that would be throwing me under the bus, but that's okay. I'm not camera ready today. But let me say that, it really is an honor to participate in the We Empower You summits. They add a lot of value and stimulate my brain. I am particularly fond of Debbie and her assessment of taking care of your body. And I think to make everything that comes into or makes up the summit, I think that's really important stuff because I speak healthcare. I like the way she presents it. It has so much glue to everything else that's going on. So I really applaud what We Empower You is about, what it's doing and how it's helping all of us. I'm going to speak for all of us now. Be better persons for our future work.
Great. Thank you so much. It's great to have you both, and you did a breakout session as well.
We did.
Thank you. Well, next up, we have Moria Veston. Moria, you were able to get logged in, thankfully, and get your presentation made. What was your favorite?
Three things, Admanity and Janaki. I especially loved the idea about this life as a journey, not a destination. That really grabbed me. And also Debbie Waldeck, she had so many resources. I can hardly wait to email her and get some suggestions on things like I asked about ADHD and so forth, which would help me focus if she's got some good suggestions and so forth. So I thought the whole thing was fascinating. I took 3 or 4 pages of notes, and now I have to stay focused enough to read them and act on them.
Well, we'll certainly help you with that. Great. And now, Andre. Hi
Hi,
there.
how are you?
I'm great. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Doing pretty good.
Good. So tell us a little bit about you.
Well, of course, my name is Andre Pearson. I'm a relationship coach, and of course, I'm an author, a podcaster, and a YouTuber. And I do a lot of things such on my website as tutorial videos about relationships and how to make people communicate better and more effectively in their relationships. And out there, I didn't get a chance to catch all of the conference yesterday because I'm on the East Coast and a busy schedule. But what I did catch and what I did appreciate is the fact that you do somewhat the same things at the conference that I like to do in my own work, which is make people rethink what they thought they already knew. It gives people an opportunity to just meet with other people to understand that they're on the same page. It may not be the same exact business, but they're on the same page as far as their thinking. A lot of people in this world find it hard sometimes to get that push, get that kind of extra little hump thing over the hump to help them through what they're doing. And a lot of times when people say, well, I need some help or some ideas or someone to kind of motivate me, it's always good to have like a mentor in your life to help you get through things. And like I said, most people, it's easy to lose yourself in what you're doing. It's easy to get caught up with overwhelmed by the things that you have on your plate. But when you're able to organize and put everything in a situation where it's order of operations, you're able to take things one piece at a time that really kind of works with you and what you're doing. So when I hear people talk through the conference and things like that, I hear passion. I hear people who want to really get into what they're doing, and they want people to understand that it's within you that you can do these things, and it's always a help. You always have help around the corner for you. So it's a good thing. I like it.
Andre, what's your website?
It is whydoeslovehurtsogood.net.
Writers?
No, whydoeslovehurtsogood.net.
Oh, thank you.
It's pretty much everything I labeled the same thing. My book is the same. My website is the same. My YouTube channel, which is Why Does Love Hurt So Good, is the same. So all about love.
All about love. That's perfect. We're going to talk a little bit about getting what's close to your heart, closer to the money. So that's all about love too.
Exactly. Because again, we have to keep in mind that, money itself is not the goal. It's a tool that we use to help us facilitate things that we're doing. So when we understand what it is and how it works in our lives, we don't have to focus on it, because if you do the work, if you put in the work and you give people something that they can appreciate and use in their own life, the money will come.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming to the summit, as well as presenting a little bit here. And in fact, I might have you take a shot at giving us a little bit of what you're doing, what your talks are here today, because we have the luxury of this time. I see Barbara Ozeda is in. You do not have to put your camera on if you don't want to, Barbara. But can you open up your mic and tell us what you got out of the summit, and maybe there's a speaker or two that you want to call out.
Let me just see how I do this. Oh, okay. No, I thought the summit was really good. I kind of was in and out only because I'm not real good at this Zoom stuff. But yeah, I thought it was really great. I'm looking forward to going live, and I thought it was really great. So thanks for sending.
Was there anyone in particular that you stood out for you, Debbie or other?
They all did stand out, and no, not really. I mean, Debbie was great, and I just had a lot of other things going on, so I can't off the top of my head, but yeah, I thought it was great.
Well, it was certainly great to have you. You, of course, live in Denver. You came here to Seattle during this summit week for the last 4 summits, or 5 summits, really. Yeah. And it just coincidentally happens, it seems. And so it's lovely to have you. You're we're 2 peas in a pod. You say, hey, I'm going here. I go, I'll go. I don't need any details. And same thing for me. Hey, you want to go do this? So it's fun.
Yeah, well, live person is coming, you know, the live events are coming back. So
Yes,
get ready to
yes,
travel because everything's coming back really
absolutely.
strong.
Yeah, we're going to lean on you, Barbara, for how people are actually bridging the live and the virtual simultaneously. Get this, Art. She's got an event coming up like days away in Dallas, and
Wow.
they have laptops set up, 15 of them, so that vendors can meet with potential buyers virtually.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have the live event going on where they're doing the same thing in person. So it's coming.
Right.
Hey, I can't wait.
Hybrid world events.
Yeah.
Yes, that's where it's at.
She's
Yeah.
going to be the expert before you know it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Barbara.
Thank you.
We have Lori Whaley now, and also following Lori, we have a phone number that's calling in. I don't know who that is, but we'll have you go next. Lori, unmute, and I'll pin you here so that you can share a little bit about the summit. What was the summit like for you?
Oh, it was great. You know, one never knows what to expect, but there was a lot of information, and as always, and I learned more about Admanity. And first time I heard about it, I thought, you know, this is really cool. So I did sign up and I took the test, and now what do I do with it? So they're explaining to me what you do with it. And there's so much research that went into that, and the speakers were great. It was just nice to see a lot of friends from the past summits, because we don't always cross paths on the calls or whatever. Just learning from Shay and Lee, and you, it's just all been great.
Yay, I love it. Thank you so much. I'm gonna spotlight the phone. No, I guess I can't spotlight the phone, so I'll just go back to gallery view. Your number is 206290. If you can open up your mic, we'll have you comment on the summit if you attended the summit, or just introduce yourself. Since I have no identification, I don't know who you are. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Cynthia, and no, I did not attend the summit. Unfortunately, I didn't find out about it until late, and my day was already scheduled. I did receive a notice about this particular meeting, and so this is my first exposure to.
Fantastic. Well, we're just about to flip, in fact, to introductions. So I'll have you go first. Let me give you the little context on this particular event. And by the way, we did record on YouTube the video of yesterday's event. And so there's 2 videos, YouTube links I can get to you. And Art, if you wouldn't mind taking down the phone number, and then I can text that to you.
Give me that number again. I'm typing.
Just look at it on the screen, because I don't want to say it out loud. But in any event, Cynthia, our context here is that we kicked the 30-second pitch to the curb. We don't want to have too little time to have to explore and explain what it is we do. And the context of this conversation is always about getting what's close to your heart closer to the money. And of course, when Lee pops back on, she's going to help us to get closer to the money, because most of us have what we love down, but we don't know how to get the money flowing. And even if we have a little bit of income coming in, it may not be all that's possible. And so with We Empower You, teaming up with Lee Romanoff, the president of Income Activator, we have found a method to the madness for generating income while you're running your business. So Cynthia, do you know Lee? Oh, unmute again.
No, I'm not. I don't know Lee. Actually, the only person how I became aware of your organization is Sandra Early.
Oh, okay, great. And Sandra's here today. So anyway, just introduce yourself. Tell us what you do from your heart. You know, that's how we connect here, is, you know, emotionally. We want to know you, get to really know who you are. Even though you're on the phone, we can still connect with you.
Well, first of all, I'm saying I wasn't anticipating having to do this. So from my heart, I feel like I'm being put on the spot. So I'll get that out of the way. Being the first person to do this and being, asked to be the first person to do this, at least that's what I'm feeling. But what did I do? So I'm working on a nonprofit organization, Cooperative Development Center. My background has been in cooperative business entities, and that formed as a result of employment at a food cooperative, a grocery store. I started on a high level in the organization in terms of being the administrative assistant to the board. Found out I'm geeky when it comes to governance. I've invested time and energy in understanding governance in terms of the overarching for the board level as well as internal operations for a business, that there is such a thing as an internal or operational governance system that can take place. I do believe in cooperation, and I found that if a business is operating in a way that is based on more of the cooperative principles, then I think that it could be, successful in a different sense of what we see. I'm in Seattle, highly tech area. It's the region I don't believe is structured where individuals, if they want to build a business because of the cost of doing business here, that they're able to do it in the sense where my parent was able to build a business, brick and mortar location, where people, you build it and they will come. I think it takes a lot more in terms of sophistication in terms of operating a business. So therefore, creating having more individuals that are involved into a structure where it could be a worker cooperative would lend itself in the present climate and future climate, and make a difference in individuals that, especially people of color, that don't have access to funding on the same way as others.
Well, you're speaking our language about collaboration with others. That's exactly what is our philosophy too. And I feel like I wish I could bring you and Zenobia Harris together, because she's the CEO of the Kent Chamber of Commerce. She wasn't able to actually join us yesterday, but I was able to interview her a couple weeks ago, and so we aired her interview on Rainier Avenue Radio. And it sounds like the two of you could get together. I would love to be at lunch with you. So let's do that when it's safe to do so in person. And that's of course dependent on other people. I'm currently meeting with people in public at restaurants and stuff, and or walks, depending on what happens there. Thank you so much, Cynthia, for that brief introduction to yourself. And as we move forward, you can always pipe in a little bit more. And Sandra, why don't you go ahead and you and Wilma take a turn and explain what the two of you do. And we'd love to hear from both of you.
I'm Sandra Early, and pleased and honored to be here. A business, Wilma and I own the business Collective Innovative Solutions. It's been around since the 80s, and it has basically 3 lines of business. One of them is...
Can you get closer to your mic? We can't hear you, barely.
Can you hear me now?
I think that's better. Say something. Yeah.
Say something.
There you go.
All righty. So the business has 3 lines in it. One of them is consulting, business operations, and that is led by Wilma Fontroy. We also have a full service insurance agency, Early Insurance Solutions. I'm the principal of that agency, and if it starts with insurance, we can do most anything there. And we also have another line of business which Wilma has developed over time. It's CIM, Collective Innovative Marketing, and it's a collection of multidisciplinary and diversity Black art, primarily. So it's an opportunity right now with Black Lives Matter and other focus on what's been happening in the world to get an education, to see master artists' work, and it works very well in the business community. I speak about 7 languages, uh, and that gives me, affords me in my toolbox a number of opportunities to basically collaborate with people. Wilma, did you want to say anything else?
I'm not certain that you'll be able to hear me, but I did want to add just one thing. In terms of B2B solutions, we are primarily into online training for how to become a business, and we are a coach and consultant for starting persons with a dream to begin their business. They get registered, they get a system in terms of delivery, and on and on and on. So that is extremely collaborative, and that's my heart. Actually, that's my heart along with insurance. You know, that's all.
Thank you and welcome to today's meeting where we empower your life in these critical conversations to connect, really. So next up, I'm going to have Lori take a shot at explaining and exploring what she's doing and what's close to her heart. Unmute there, Lori.
Okay, I'm unmuted.
Okay.
Well, what's close to my heart is I will look into the mic or the camera. Is I actually went full circle from hating who I was and my heritage and being ashamed and bullied and teased about it to embracing it after the accident in 2007. Actually, 2 rear end accidents in 2007, and I had mild traumatic brain injury, and there was nothing mild about my condition, reading at 7th grade level, and endured over 1,000 appointments in order to regain wellness. But in doing so, in order to regain wellness, I decided to write a book about the Code of Bushido, because it could be an anchor in a person's sea of turmoil and a guide through the maze of life. And here's the book. It's Let the Samurai Be Your Guide. And what I love to do is help people, discover their own personal code. In Bushido, there's 7 principles. And I also ended up with Gambaru, which is try your hardest, do your best, never give up, and go for broke. So I love to teach about all of that: courage, integrity, benevolence, respect, honesty, honor, and loyalty. And because those are good ethics, never go out of style, right? And I'm also starting a coaching program. It'll start next month. So I'm working on that and going to be doing more Facebook Lives and getting more technically oriented.
That's great. And you just finished video recording about 3 weeks ago, your 5-minute spotlight, which comes as a result of your being a member. You get to have a 5-minute spotlight on the WWTVN. And it could also be on the Faith and Family Network if you like. And so you're just about this close. We would have been able possibly to show you today, but there's some editing I think that you're interested in making. But
yes, I'm working on that email right now, and John helped me.
It's very good. It's on the caliber of the Gold Coast, Gold Cast YouTube videos that you hear or see. Watch. I'm a little rummy from yesterday, just so you know.
I can imagine.
Yeah. And I got up at 6 o'clock this morning and I sent out an email to Lee, and guess who called me? Like, right. I mean, she's like, call me. Like, oh gosh, can't believe this is so early that we're talking. And next up, Art, why don't you take it?
Yeah. It's kind of really nice to see Sandra and Wilma come, because I've known you for such a long time, and then I met them 2 or 3 years ago, and to see us all coming together, and exploring new ideas. And one of the things that I got smitten by is this whole idea of climate change, but the opportunity of climate action and the need for us to come together across generations, across genders, across the planet to do something in time. And so coming here and being part of this, I had thought about maybe a year from now being able to do, listen to this, a year from now of being able to eventually do some virtual conferences and trade shows. And now I'm celebrating a whole year of doing that, thanks to you and the group of people that we're doing here. So now I'm being called to take it to the next step and figure out how people can improve their communications with each other in a way that they can work more effectively and more efficiently. And what we can do, what I can do, my calling is to, bring people together and really, really have us not only just survive, but thrive, because we need to do this. And we can't just do it alone. Seniors, I'm 75 years young. I can't do it alone, okay? And I don't think any millennials can do it alone. I don't think any, Gen X's can do it alone. We all need each other, but we got to start to realize that. I think all the races have to realize that we're in this one world together. The rich people and the poor people and the middle class people all have to start working together across political lines, okay? And so my calling is to continue to ask deep within what next, Spirit? What can I do? What can I do within the time that I have remaining on the earth plane to do something about it? So that's what's going on with Johnson.
I love it. And hopefully we'll continue to take on projects like the Biscayne Bay project that we took on last year. And we're able to hold, I guess it was over 200 people that attended.
Yeah. And I really see the need for us. We're at that turning point where we need to drive more revenue. We need to take it to that next phase. And I'm kind of really looking to see what it is that I can do to help along with that. So that's what's on my mind.
That's what's on your mind and in your heart, right?
Yep. Head and heart.
Right. Let's turn it now over to John Webster.
Yes. And what was the question?
Well, tell us what's close to your heart, and we'll be talking here shortly about how to get closer to the money.
So close to my heart is personal development, and I do coaching in personal development. I'm in fact in the process of about halfway through writing my book. It's called Mastering Your Fate, Self-Leadership Strategies to Increase Your Income, Influence, and Time Freedom. And so I'm actually putting together, along with that, a membership course to go along with it as well. So.
Oh, wow. You're in a perfect space because we have the technology to actually make your membership just such a smooth transition. And I feel like you and Troy need to talk. Are you picking up on that, Troy? Unmute.
I got to get the cursor down there in the right spot to unmute. Yeah, I was picking up a pen so that way I can write down John's contact. Maybe you can put it in the chat, John.
Yeah,
Sure.
that'd be great. And if you all want to also share your LinkedIn, it's great to share on LinkedIn as well. That's another medium that we can communicate on. And John is also a member of Patrick Snow's group. Patrick, of course, was one of our speakers yesterday, and he helps coach for life all his clients who join him and to write their books and get them published. Lori's worked with Patrick in the past. Mia, who popped on earlier, had to take a business call. She's coming back. Moria also, and myself, and there's probably some others that are going to pop on. And so those meetings are on Mondays. They're a phone call, and I don't know if you have it handy, John, if you can type in the 800 number for folks to call into that to the Patrick's call.
Patrick's number.
He doesn't do Zoom, but he does conference calling, and it's a solid hour worth the time to log in and listen to all of the different titles of the books that he's working with, as well as everybody gets to ask one question, or maybe more, but I rarely have more than one. And then he answers all of the questions in the one call. And every single Monday is a different call. I see Romeric is logging in. Welcome, Romeric, and love to hear from you when you get it, your mic open. There you go. Thank you also, John.
Thank you, Bettina. Thank you, Bettina. Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry for my late. I was, doing some meetings and just take some time to join you guys after the amazing meeting that we have, virtual summit that we had yesterday.
It sure was.
So it's always a pleasure to be here.
Of course, everyone enjoyed hearing from you there as well. We have some new people here with us today. Introduce yourself from your heart. What are you working on over there with your book club? And you're in Cote d'Ivoire, West Africa. And what time is it?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's 6:45 p.m.
Okay, not too bad.
Yeah, quite early. Yeah. So I'm just going to talk about the book club. The book club, is an initiative that I launched in April with the help of my dear friends Bettina, Art Johnson, and Lee Romanov. So the thing is to promote, reading towards professionals and also students, so that they can get to learn the English language through books. And I know that in our community, we Empower You community, we have a lot of offers. So what I do is to schedule an interview with them every Tuesday. I'm thinking about, running it every, every 2 weeks. Yes, every 2 weeks, Tuesday. So depending on the time zone, we have the interview. I interviewed Lee Romanov, I interviewed Siobhan, and I'm about to interview, Laurie. I thought about this, I talked about this with Laurie yesterday. So Laurie will be maybe the next, before the end of June. And it will be a great interview for people to get to know, about your book and about what you're doing with the promotion of the samurai culture. So this is all about, promoting the English language through books. And my crazy dream is now to try to duplicate what I saw in Seattle. I've been impressed by the public library of Seattle, and I made a post on Facebook. You may have seen it, Bettina. It's a great jewel for me. The public library of Seattle is amazing. So I want to do something similar in my country, because not a lot of people are very fond of reading, and mainly in English. So I think that this will be a very great initiative for people to get to, have the opportunity to practice the language and to have materials to practice it. Not only digital material, but also physical material. So this is what I'm doing. So if you guys have some books, I've already written a book, please just let me know. We might, schedule an interview with you. It will be my privilege to have you on this book show. So that's it.
Yes, we have some authors here today. So type your book names and connect with Romeric. So Romeric's initiative came out of wanting to engage with folks on a deeper level that were coming to meetings. And the meetings that we were having were on Saturdays, and he wanted to give them a different day that might work better for them. And so now he meets on Tuesdays. All of the authors are not just authors off the shelf. They're actually authors that are part of the We Empower You community, which you have many of. So this is a virtual library to begin with, and hopefully in the future might be a real world library. I have so many
Yes,
books I
definitely.
can send you, to tell you the truth, if I can find a way to get them there inexpensively. Rosie Lynch, are you available to introduce yourself? I'm going to have you mute, Ramir. Thank you so much for coming. Big time difference there. What's close to your heart?
Well, so right now, because I'm working with Debbie to try to clean up my gut, because now I got a rash. So she's helping me with that, and then I've got to take my license test here in Oregon because we just moved for esthetician work. So I've got a lot of stuff going on, but still working doTERRA. You know, I love the oils. So just trying to get healthy.
Yes, and you're a member of the We Empower You community, as well as many others here today. And so,
yeah, yesterday was awesome. It was amazing. Yeah, you did a great job. Great speakers.
What was one of your favorite sessions?
Debbie.
Yeah, she rocks.
She does. She really does.
I gave her a full hour yesterday because she can't get done what she has. And we actually went over an hour, and it was perfect because everybody had lots of questions for her.
Yeah, she had a lot to say.
Great. All right, Moria, what's up with you? What's close to your heart?
I have been a nonviolent communication teacher for about 20 years, and I love doing that. And when I get my focus better under my control, I'm going to do some podcasts and interviews on radios and so forth. I've been thinking of that and planning on it for a while, so I just need to get doing it. I've also written 2 books, and one of the books, I don't know if you can see it here, maybe not, Pleasures and Ponderings from None to Nudist to Now. It's a book of 77 essays, and it's about all kinds of things from personal stuff to ponderings about all kinds of things. The other book is Diving Right In, Reflecting on Life's Adventures, which is a book of poetry and vignettes. And I'm happy to share PDFs of both of those books if anybody would like that. I'll put that information in the chat group and stuff. And right now, it's very interesting to me to see all the resources. And there's part of me that's wondering if I am addicted to learning new things, because I get such pleasure out of all the speakers yesterday and all the thoughts and talks and resources online and so forth. And I've got way too many emails in my folders and emails because I can't keep up with them, and I don't want to miss anything. So it's hard to delete, although I do okay on that when I get started. So
good. Please come over to my place and delete things.
yes, that would help. Thank you.
Right. Thanks so much. And Andre, I would love for you to dive a little bit deeper into what your passion is. And I know you leave a lasting impression every time I hear you talk about love.
Well, I appreciate that, but I got to tell you, we as a author myself and writing the book, Why Does Love Hurt So Good? It incorporates a lot of things. Like I said, people just need to kind of put all together, because life itself is all different for each one of us. But I can tell you this, in business, we all know that listening is more important than speaking. We must understand that people don't know who we are until we open our mouths. If you haven't figured this out right now, all the people on this panel, we are all teachers to other people listening, whether we get paid for it or not. In venues like this, we all know we cannot innovatively create new opportunities if we continue to follow simple traditions. And what we need to understand and know is that being a great speaker also incorporates being a great listener, because how we deliver what it is that we want others to know is important. So when we deliver messages, we have to understand that the outcome of the understanding is based on how we actually speak and say the things that we say. We have to know who we're talking to, know our audience, and understand that the people that we're talking to and dealing with have to understand the things that we say coming out of our mouth. So when I talk to people in relationships, or I do relationship Zoom conversations, or even in my videos on my YouTube channel, I am very clear and concise about what it is I'm trying to get across to people as far as the message, because I want to keep it fun. I want to keep it informative, entertainment, and just overall fun for everybody that's listening, because there's always messages. And the problem we have in business and relationships is simple fact. We are afraid of the unknown. And when we don't know the unknown, we kind of move backwards because we don't know. When you have a panel such as this, and you're talking to people like this on a panel, it gives you an opportunity to know what it is you're trying to do, and they give you the strength to move forward. Because sometimes all we need is a great person to kind of push us. Well, we need somebody to kind of understand where we're going. And when people understand and give us kind of like a little feedback, like we understand, we get it, then it kind of motivates you to do the next thing. Now, that person in my life right now is my brother. And when I talk to him, I can tell you he's more of the opposite of me. He has less patience, but when I do talk to him and get off the phone, I want to go do things. I want to follow through, because if we don't follow through, all we do is fall back and start over. If we don't surround ourselves with people that can help us move forward in our life, why are they there? We don't have time in our life basically to figure out other people, to figure out what our purpose is in our life. If we have people around us that's not helping us move forward, then they pretty much are wasting our time and things that we do. And we're doing business with people, trying to educate people, inform people, get people to get on board with the things that we're doing. We have to be able to understand who we're dealing with and what it is that they're seeking. Because if we don't understand that information, they cannot understand it, nor will they get it when we tell it to them. Because how many times have you sat back and have told people something about an idea you're doing, they looked at you like you were crazy?
Mm-hmm.
They'd be like, "Oh, well, I don't get it. You're not supposed to get it. I just want to talk it out loud. That's all. I don't really too much care if you get it right now, because you will when you see the finished product." I can tell you about a video dealing with relationships, because my last one I did was on my YouTube channel was signs that he is cheating on you. Now, telling you the information about what I'm talking about concerning that, you would not get it. But when you see it, as most people have commented on my channel, it is like watching a mini movie for 11 minutes. Because I give you the information in a fun, entertaining way. But at the end of the video, it makes you think and say, you know what? I never thought about it that way. I never looked at it that way. And that's my whole concept with my books that I put out, the videos that I do, and the website that I've created, is to get people to think outside the box. Everything that people do, when you say, well, let's go to the front door, everybody can't go through the front door when they're doing things. You have to figure out another innovative way to go around. You may have to go through the side door. You may have to do things a little differently if people understand it, because no one's going to always get what it is you're talking about. Can you imagine if Microsoft, during the time that he created Microsoft, he would tell his friends about what he was going to do down the road concerning computers, how that may have sounded back in the early 80s? I'm going to have this, I'm going to do this, how that would sound. But now when you see it visually, because that's what we are visual people. And that's why when I do the videos that I do, the tutorials about different parts of relationships, and I cover a ton of things, from he's cheating on you, you cheating on him, signs that the relationship is over, the love language, because people don't understand that our language for each other is different. We don't understand that love is not an emotion. It is a word, and it is only the connection that we apply to it that makes it valuable to the people we're talking about. We got to keep in mind that we don't fall in love, we grow in love. And as I tell men often, many times before, when God created man, he created man first. He created man to be the foundation of the relationship. This is why you see so many people with these new terms such as entanglement or poly relationships, and women look into it and like, okay, well, I'm gonna try to get into this whole thing. When you don't understand what it is that you're getting into, then you complain about it. These terms and things like that for people are not good terms. They have now devalued the whole idea of marriage, and the world has told us that living with one another and shacking up is the way to go. And when we understand that as people, we need to understand where we're going, what we're doing, how we're going to be able to do it and come across with it. So I tell you, when you're talking about messages and you're giving out information to people to share to help other people, understand what they need help with. I can share a billion things with you, but they may not apply to what you're trying to do. The key thing is to know your audience, to know who you're talking about, to know what you're giving out is going to help them. And that's the key to what's going on as far as everything else. But like I said, I do a lot, and writing books, doing my YouTube channel. Matter of fact, I'm doing a new video tomorrow that will post up next week on the role of a man in the relationship. So people who have requested to do such as things from me, it gives them an opportunity to kind of get my point of view. And I'm not saying that my views are right. I'm just giving you a different perspective. And it makes it easy. And business is no different. We have to give people a different perspective of the things in which they're trying to do and other opportunities and ways in which to do them. And if we're able to do that, we don't get paid for it all the time, but it is very valuable. When people start understanding that your information you're giving is valuable, they're willing to pay you for it because they consider you to be a professional at it. So that's what I consider people that's on this panel to be, pretty much teachers, giving people information that is valuable, making sure that whatever it is, they have the outlet and the people to reach out to be able to succeed in whatever they are trying to do. Because we need to know that it can be done. And even though it hasn't been done before, it doesn't mean that it can't be. We just need to know and understand ways to get it done.
Thank you so much. That was great. See, we'll have to have you on our breakout sessions next time around, right?
No problem. I'd love to be there.
Okay, we've got Barbara Ozeda. What's close to your heart? Unmute there.
Yeah, I'm going to have to pass. I'm in the middle of something. I'm sorry.
No worries. No worries. We know you're fitting us in. And it looks like Lee has come back. Has everybody had a chance to introduce themselves before we turn it over to Lee? So she's been listening, I'm sure, to your powerful stories and what's close to your heart. And now she's going to talk about how do you get these business ideas and models and put them to a place where you can actually generate an income. And just to give you some insight, when I had the dream, the vision that I wanted to return back to the scene of empowering others, and I wanted to create a membership specifically, and I wanted to have a summit specifically, and I brought this notion to Lee, she gave me literally the answer to this question: how do you do this? And I'm going to let her take it away from here because I cannot speak highly enough of this lady. I'm going to be interviewing her here in about an hour and 30 minutes on the Rainier Avenue radio program, which I do on Thursdays. And she's just phenomenal. I'm going to pin you up here.
Okay, thank you, Bettina. That's just terrific.
So I came to you with this really kind of cockamamie idea. I want to do these summits. I want to have a membership. Take it away from there.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the pitch. I think it just hit a foul. Actually, I can only talk about sort of what I see when I see people with a strong voice, and I find that, you know, their message keeps getting buried in the work. You come out, you want to educate the world, you want to give them a message, and the next thing you know, you're writing a book, you're creating a course, you're doing consultations, you're doing Zoom meetings, you're doing this and that, and your voice completely gets buried because everybody wants a piece of you, and everybody is telling you, because they've all drank the Kool-Aid, you need to do consulting, you need to do meetings, you need to do a book, you need to do, and it goes on and on and on. And I'm not saying don't do that, but I'm also saying consider the possibility of having your voice out to the world through mainstream media, because mainstream media actually has the reach. Online doesn't necessarily have the reach, because through mainstream media, they've spent decades and decades creating their audience. So if you get your voice heard and you send them back to your website with a built-in revenue stream that doesn't require the work of God to complete these projects, If you can create a directory or resource page, we are helping people, you know, connect with the right coaches and the right help, so that when they complete a referral form, you get paid, not based on an affiliate, whether they do business with that person or, but just if they complete a form, then you find that you make liquid money. If your voice is, you know, men should behave like this, and whatever that happens to be like, because it's cut the last bit of one of the conversations. Men should be responsible for this in this way, and come to my website to find out how to, let's just say, get a date. There's a lot of people that specialize, a lot of coaches specialize men in grooming and how to get a date. So you could be the voice out there on a mainstream radio station, directing people to your website that has a directory, sending maybe a $10 lead on how to get a man a date, how to save a marriage, how to dress better, how to do this and that. And you've got a directory of everything in your message. Once you do that, you know now how to make liquid money. You go on the mainstream media, and you don't talk to all these individuals that would be dying to talk to you for hours and hours. I know that. But you go on the mainstream media, you get your message heard, you get your voice heard, you direct them to your website, and you send leads. Now, some people send leads to themselves, and some people send leads to just corporate businesses that can help people. You can do it both ways. You can do anything you want, but the best way is to just book your promotional appointments, send traffic to your website where it generates liquid money by sending leads to businesses that pay you. It tracks the leads, and you just send out the invoices. Now, once you've got this website that's doing liquid money based on your voice, then that's when you step into the next section, which Bettina offers in the We Empower You membership, where you get your 5-minute TV show spotlight with your message, with your voice. So once now you've got your spotlight that people can access on Apple TV, Amazon TV, Roku, Chromecast, Google Play, Android TV, which has a base audience of about 50 million. That's where you then get to your sponsorship package, and you find a sponsor, because we have 400 companies that do sponsorships between $10,000 and $100,000 a year. That's where you find a company that aligns with your voice and would say, yes, we want to align with your voice. We don't have a consumer advocate like you. We can't buy a consumer advocate like you. We want to align with your voice. And because you already have a presence on the TV show, we're going to turn that into a full channel and market it. Well, once they start doing that, your channel tells people to go back to your website, where you make liquid money from your leads, from your directory, from your resource page. That's how you become an internet multimillionaire. And we have all the pieces in place, and we have the weekly meetings, and we hold people's hands. We have people that have started with nothing. They've had their website, then they've created the revenue streams, they've created their email campaigns, they've created their 5-minute TV show spotlight on these networks. Now they're advancing to the sponsorship package. It takes time to do that. It takes time to understand, because you guys have been so badly brainwashed by so many self-proclaimed gurus telling you what you need to do to make them money. it's insane, you know. And also with the social media, you know, they spend billions of dollars like trying to convince you to put your content, let's just say, on Facebook, so that Facebook makes money from your visitors and lead revenue. When you start opening up your eyes and seeing what they've done, it will disgust you. Then they give you these icons that if by any possible way somebody actually does get to your website, we'll put the Facebook icon on your website so you can kick them off back to Facebook so that Facebook can make money. I mean, this is what they do. YouTube convinced so many journalists and people with points of view to have their business sitting on YouTube with the promise that they will get a sliver of lead revenue. And then when YouTube decided it wasn't the voice they wanted, they eliminated thousands of people's websites because they decided you don't align with our made up message. I mean, they, you know, I would say class action suits with Facebook and YouTube, get on them, because they've really done people a disservice. And because I've been doing this for 20 years or more, I see what was happening. You know, I saw way back in the early 2000s where these, you know, when we all started, I was making about $10,000 a month from lead revenue, and people were making about $500 a month teaching you how to create ebooks. What happened was that was more understandable, and all these people that were teaching people how to create and sell ebooks were getting paid thousands and thousands and millions of dollars for courses and their course material. And the whole internet went in that direction. But then you saw Google come up with a pay-per-click model, which made them millions. And then Facebook with their pay-per-click model, and Angie's List and Home Advisor, all with lead models, nothing with what you guys do. So what Bettina's done is she has combined the actual platforms that you actually need to mirror what the multi-million-dollar companies do. The income activator platform with the lead tracking software, the worldwide TV network show spotlight with the audience, the sponsorship package that has been designed to attract sponsors between $10,000 and $100,000. I mean, this is remarkable. And then she takes it another step and says, look take the membership too, use it as your own, you know, add your own product, sell it, you know, your product will renew automatically with the renewals. Your product may only sell for, you know, $200, but if you put it in the membership, you get $800 for that product annually, along with the website, along with the TV show, along with the sponsorship package. What Bettina has done is, you know, second to none. This package that she provides is right on target with what everybody needs, and it leads you into understanding the lead revenue model, which again is the only model multi-million-dollar companies use. And you can gradually grow. You can still do your books, you can still do your courses, you can still do your webinars, but you gradually create this lead directory platform, and then you start talking to the mainstream media, and you will start seeing. When I first started leads on with my website, I had an outside business that was making, I don't know, $20,000 a month. And then when I put my business online, I mean, I made my first month, I made $300 through lead revenue. And I thought I could live on that because I did nothing. So I took my brick and mortar business and I morphed it into a lead revenue basis. And that's when I was selling, creating between $50,000 to $100,000 in lead revenue. But you just start morphing it over to what the multi-million-dollar companies do. So that was my long, blown out speech, Bettina. Are you there? Does anybody want to ask any questions?
I am here, and yes, let's open up the mic to questions. And then I also wanted to share one of the videos that we keep on our website. And so if there's one in particular you want to show, I can cue that up, but let's open up the mics and have folks go ahead and ask Lee some questions.
I had a question, Lee.
Sure, Art.
If people are moving their lives and they've been working for somebody else and doing all that, okay, how do they find their voice? Because you said people are losing their voice or their voice is getting buried somewhere. How do people find their voice and stay on their voice?
It's basically, it's a message that means something to you that you think you should share with somebody else to avoid a situation. And I'll give you a couple of examples. You know, at the time where I found that I saved $300 for car insurance, I really needed that money. And I thought everybody else in the world would need it as much as me. So my voice was, do your rate comparisons. But I have other voices too. I've had 2 back operations. So I could send leads to specialists. I have a dog. I could send leads to veterinarians.
Okay.
I have whatever is important, a message that is important for you to share that will benefit other people. And if it's simple, the simpler the better, then that's your message. You can pick anything. And there's all kinds of businesses that will pay you for leads, but you've got to be consistent. You can't be confusing in too many messages.
You know, I'm curious if John Webster has a question, and if you were able to, I'm not sure you were able to hear his presentation, Lee, because you were taking a call.
Yeah.
John, can you open up?
What was the question?
Oh, after listening to Lee, is there a particular voice message that you're living into?
Hi, John. Nice to talk to you again.
Not something specifically defined. I've always been really into the personal development space. And I've seen a lot of books that go through different things. And one of the things that I don't know if it like irritates me, but it's a lot of the personal development books. They'll put something out, but they're lacking in the framework of how to accomplish it. So like, for example, and a lot of people hear about the law of attraction and they'll write a book about it and you're like, okay, that's great. But if you sit down all day and just think, it isn't going to happen. And so what I'm doing is I'm actually putting together a personal development book that goes into the be, do, and have. The law of attraction explained out in scriptural and biblical terms as well, in the references with that, the doing, the action part, and then the having, the legacy, who you become, and what you're able to have in regards to that. So that's what I'm doing with what I'm working on right now.
And what's the membership? Describe to Lee what the membership is that you're building.
So the membership is basically, and as you know what Patrick Snow says, most people that get your book, don't read it. So the membership goes above and beyond the book itself, but takes them through step by step an action plan of how to implement what's in the book.
So implementing the being, the doing, and the having. I live that philosophy every day, by the way.
That's why you're so busy.
No, I'm just being. I live into the being part.
Well, you know, it's a popular topic, and you're right, people don't read books once they get them, absolutely. I mean, I don't even read the ones I write. So what can I say?
Well, I can tell you, I agree with what you're saying, and I know I've kept it myself down to two simple things. If you're doing a business, you have to either answer a question or provide a service. You do one of those two things, you'll be fine.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If you just answer the question and let someone else provide the service, that's who becomes the multimillionaires.
Exactly. And that's why when you pretty much answer the question, you have your new job. Well, if you're a new job, you need to move on it. You can't sit by and talk about it. You're going to have to move on it. So if I figure out how to build a better tire, then I need to get to the market and figure out how to make it happen. Because sitting there, knowing that people are thinking probably something similar, that I need to get a move on. If I'm answering a question, I need to make sure I'm answering the question that you asked and not just a question. Because the worst thing you can do is talk at people instead of to them.
Okay, so yeah, that's my problem. So if I was to walk into an elevator, we had only 4 or 5 floors to get to. What is your main message that you would say about your business?
Now, assuming that I know you, we know each other, and assuming I know a little bit about what it is that you're doing, I would I would ask a question based on what I know of you. So let's just say if I knew that you were a good baker and you bake goods for the office all the time, you're real good. Now I can tell you, I can ask a question. Have you ever thought about going into business for yourself, possibly taking your product to maybe lower end stores to test it out, to see how it works and kind of get with people who can do the work and you can get the instructions and move forward. So if you're a baker and there's a guy down the street can help you bake your products and keep you from using your own kitchen, you can employ people that can actually do the final work for you, but you be the face of it.
Okay, so
a lot of times,
what is your business exactly?
I'm a relationship coach.
Okay,
so when I talk to people in relationships, I have to first find out, because I can't just say, oh, you two guys are bad, go do this, because that's not a solution for everybody's problem. What I have to first is listen to what it is their concerns are.
Why did you become, sorry, I'm going to interrupt you a couple of times. I want to get to the real point here.
Okay.
Why did you become a relationship coach? What was that trigger for you?
The trigger, because I like helping people through problems. I'm a problem solver.
What happened to you that turned you into a relationship coach?
I figured out in my first book when I wrote it that I am not the only one on this planet.
Why did you, well, no. Why did you write the book then? Let's go back a little bit further.
I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
I wrote the book. I wrote the book based on the fact that I knew that I could not have been the only one that has been hurt by love, hurt someone that I love, lied to them, or been lied to. I know there are others who had questions about things, but were afraid to come forward to talk about them. So I said, why not put myself out there, tell you my situation. If you happen to fall into this category, then you can see what I did right and what I did wrong and for you not to do.
And the situation you fell into was what?
The situation that I fell into was concerning how I did my relationships, what I may have done, said myself, because before you can solve that problem, you have to admit that you had one. Admit your involvement.
We'll talk offline because I'm not getting to your core yet. Because as soon as I get to your core, you can be a voice worldwide. But you're skipping me around it right now.
Oh, just lack of time. Like I said, we could talk a little different.
Yeah, we'll talk offline, okay?
Okay.
I mean, if I was to make a story up, it might be that you lost the love of your life because of something that you said or you didn't say. And then, it's really more about there's always a story, right? That I'm a victim of domestic violence. And my story is about, and why I'm in the empowerment world is because I was a victim and I became an empowerer, and I'm empowering others as a result of my tragic story. Well,
basically mine was the fact that in relationships, when they ended, I wanted to know why. What did I do wrong? I would even ask the person that I'm dealing with, what did I do right and what did I do wrong? Because moving to someone next, I want to make sure I don't repeat those same problems that you felt was an issue. If it was a controlling thing or a demanding thing or something of that nature, if I didn't talk to you the right way.
Before they ended it.
Well, no, you don't know what you don't know because you're in it. When you're in it, you don't see clear when you're in it. Other people see it.
My relationships do. They know exactly why they're out that
Oh,
door.
no, you have no. This is not to say you don't have some kind of inkling of what's going on, but you're never going to admit first that you're wrong. You never admit the girl that she left you. You would say you never say that you did something wrong to her. You always say she did something wrong to you, or he did something wrong to me. The moment you admit to yourself, you know what, I may have had a little bit to do with that, and my part, and it was this, then you can start understanding and say, hey, you know what, maybe she was right, maybe I was wrong. When you start admitting to yourself, you have issues as well, as we all do, and you face those issues, then you can start to learn from them. Because what we don't want to do is lie. We can lie to the public. We don't want to lie to ourselves.
There you
So
go.
you hit a point in your life where you stopped lying to yourself.
Correct. Because I kept saying, I thought everybody else was the problem. I thought, oh, they did this, or I did that. Well, I didn't do nothing. I had to start telling myself, hey, look at it, because the common denominator to this problem that's going on is you.
That's right. When I hit my 90s, I'll do that, Bettina.
Yeah. So what Lee's getting at is that finding what you're the voice for, like, I'm the voice of empowerment. Debbie is the voice of truth. That when you really identify specifically what are you the voice of, it's a lot easier to create a membership, a directory, a following, an income from all of these activities.
An income from your voice, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and we just need to whittle it down for everybody, because at the end of the day, otherwise people can get lost in writing the book and then rewriting the book, rewriting another book, getting a curriculum designed, and they can spend a lot of their time in an effort to refine the book or refine the coaching or refine, and then the money just stays away from you. You can't make the money that you deserve. But if you live into the voice, if you live into what it is you're speaking from, and you let the income come from promoting others, right? So that's what we're inviting people to do, is to take some of your time to clarify what it is your voice is, to clarify why you're here, your reason for being, and live into the possibility that when you promote others, then you don't have to do any of the work. You don't have to do any of the work associated with the ebooks and all of that stuff that takes time and money generally.
Like for John, right? Hey,
yeah.
The secret is the secret doesn't work.
That's it. See, that's what John's book is really should speak to, is that it doesn't work if you don't do the action, because at the end of the day,
they left that part out.
Yeah, and sometimes spinning that around, like I used to say that it's a man's world. But then when I really dove a little deeper into what my book is about, what I realized was that it wasn't about the man having it over me. It was, in fact, that I had a mindset that I had grown up with that locked me into living out a lesser life as a woman. And so I started speaking into the myth of it being a man's world, which was completely much more relevant to the media. And I'm talking about how we are the jailers. We are the ones who keep ourselves from success because of the way we think, the way we were taught to think. So now I know what my voice of empowerment is all about, is basically shattering the revenue glass ceiling and unlocking your hidden potential and your power with your master key, because I know that's my voice. Then I ask myself the next question, which is, how do I make this engine go? How do I, drive this train forward? And it came through Lee that how I drive this is that I don't do the work. I promote others. I have a membership. I promote others. When I promote others, it drives the revenue, and I can do whatever I want in the conversation of the empowerment world. And will I have a book? Oh, certainly. by all means, let me have a book. But is it my priority in comparison to generating the membership? No, because the membership drives the revenue. So this is all we're explaining and exploring here today, just to connect the dots from yesterday to today.
I had a good
Joined us.
question. That was a good question I asked. You
Yeah,
guys just
right.
went through a whole thing. Thank you so much, everybody.
Yes. Tiu's joined us now, and Tiu has literally cracked the code, just like I did. And she has gained the understanding that she needs to drive it from her message and her voice. And you can take it away, because give you a few minutes here to share a little bit about you and what you've garnered from, as we say, letting go and letting lead.
And Tiu, here's your next 2 steps. You've got to find somebody that you're comfortable sending leads to. You got to get on the radio and promote your message. And then we've got to get you a sponsorship package because you have your TV spot. Once we do those few things, you're set to run your business from the beach.
That sounds amazing. I would love to run a business my business from the beach. And yes, we need to, just you and I, Lee, we'll need to set up a time to talk and make a plan, okay?
Yeah, well, Bettina will probably be good for advising you who you can send leads to based on your business. So I don't have to get involved with that. Allie can easily set up your lead program. It takes 5 minutes to do that, but you should do it too. You should know how that works.
Absolutely.
And then, so once you have a business that you can send leads to where you're not doing, let's grab the radio and let's create your sponsorship package. Those are the last 2 things. You're off and going.
Awesome. Thank you.
And then you're leading, Lori's on your footsteps, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Lori's
she's following close behind you there. It's kind of like the Olympics, right? Who's going to get the gold? We should have the Golden Globe Awards for We Empower You next year.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sure Ricky Gervais would love to.
Yeah. And John and Andre, I think everybody else kind of knows this story. And of course, we're live on Facebook, so maybe there's somebody watching. But I literally invested in Lee. I let go. I let her have at my website, which is on her Income Activator platform, that has 10 revenue generating strategies built into the software. And I, literally 8 weeks later had generated over 25,000 in revenue. So I 10x'd my investment. Subsequent to that, nearly I think a week or so after 6 weeks, we had processed, generating gross revenues from the activities of the membership and also web development over 6 figures, right? So it's the shortest amount of time that I've put in by months, the shortest amount of effort by work effort, and the least amount of money that I've ever invested in anything that has generated this kind of revenue opportunity. And so as I estimate it, right now I've built in a residual income of about $40,000 a year annually. If I stopped right here and there were no new members, but no exits either, and I just left it the way it was, and I just year after year, in 25 years, that's $1 million, right? But that's not who I am. So I'm going to continue to grow this. My goal is to get to 100 members. We're not quite to 50. Get to 100 members. I think at that point it'll explode. And again, it's just having a recurring income, because when the members are happy and satisfied, which you've got members sitting in here that are happy and satisfied, that have this understanding. And so I think what's interesting is that it's this technology, that the platform itself, whether you have your own website or not, because I certainly did, like everybody else, whether if you continue to have a separate website, it doesn't matter. Use this website to generate income through the 10 strategies and you're golden. And I've only deployed 3, I think.
You only need to deploy 2.
2? Just 2?
Yeah, the only ones that are actually good for you is inviting people to the membership to join.
Yeah.
And then sending leads to, the copywriters and, people for Amenity. So having your directory of what you're already doing where you are actually not doing the work.
Yeah, I do have 3. And the reason I say 3 is because I also have sales. And sales is an income generating activity. When I sell a summit ticket,
then you can put that in your directory or your store, of course.
Yeah. So you've got the store. In my case, I'm using 3 of the 10 strategies. So at the end of the day, you have created something of a marvel. Truly, I've searched for this for over 20 years. I knew it when I founded Women in Small Biz years ago. I tried several models on. It's replicable. What I'm doing can be done by other people. Several people here, Art, to you, have already accomplished this this strategy and been paid. And so this is what we're teaching people.
Yeah, actually, it's really advantageous right now because everybody that's here and that joins gets this heavier degree of attention than when Bettina hits her 100, 200, 1,000. Bettina's going to be virtually disappeared when she gets 1,000. Well, that's $800,000 a year. Now, anybody that just takes a unique picture or a unique video and says, hey, look at this platform. You get the website, the TV show, the sponsorship package, weekly meetings. If you're in business, you should have this. 1,000 people is almost $1 million a year. And you're not even doing anything other than putting this on Instagram and putting it on social media under your own direction, because you can also include your platform, your program within the membership to your audience or to the entire audience. And that's what's so beautiful about it. The hard work's done for you.
Yeah, your package can be like what Romerick did was he put a paid book club program together, and he put the package inside the book club inside, or the We Empower You membership inside his book club. What Art has done is taken his business, moving your business to the cloud and put it inside the We Empower You. What Debbie is doing is putting her 7 modules inside the We Empower You. What Rita is doing is taking her financial freedom kind of program and putting it inside of We Empower You. And each and every one of these people that has done that, they are going to sell something and make more by virtue of its value being more, because the We Empower You is growing. I mean, we're up to a $30,000 package. So that's it's the long and the short of it. It's great that we've explored a little bit deeper than maybe we intended today, but.
So let me clarify what Bettina just said. Basically, every time you sell, you're a 50-50 partner of the We Empower You membership. If you have a $200 package and you include it, and people buy the membership because of your package, you're actually getting paid $800 for that $200 package, giving your client better value because they've got the website, the TV show, and the sponsorship package, and you get that money every year.
And that's the coup de grace, so to speak, is that you get the money every year. Whereas if you sell your individual package, like Rita has a $997 coaching program, she can sell that to somebody one time. They buy it one time, they take the coaching program, and then they never see her again, right?
Yeah, adios.
If she puts that same program into the We Empower You, the member stays a member through whatever lifetime they have.
You're out,
she gets paid year over year the same $800. So would you rather have $997 one time, or would you rather have $800 year over year?
That's my relationship. That's what I want. That's the love of my life. And that doesn't kick me back.
Yeah. And you know, it's fun because what's great is this is the real story. So like TU joined last year as a founding member, and she paid her revenue. I mean, she paid her membership dues, and then she recruited Doris Hughes, and Doris, 50% of what Doris paid went right to TU. TU, tell us what you did with the money.
Wow. You know, I could go on and on and on, but I won't, because I invested it in my business, and then the business generated more revenue. So when I renewed just this last June, it was like I got my membership for free.
Yes. And then here's the interesting thing. Then my experience over here is I served TU for an entire year. 52 weeks out of the year, Lee and I showed up to a weekly meeting, many other phone calls, many other opportunities for being there for TU, locked arm in arm with TU. And now she's got her 5-minute video. She's got a business that's up and running. She was retired and a wannabe speaker and a wannabe author. Now her book is going to be in print. She's moving forward at a fast clip, and she knows that we're all right standing by her side. She's not going it alone. And then I got a check in the mail that she mailed me, and it's like, I still have to go to the bank, but it's residual income. It's residual income. So this is the part that I think escapes people, is that it's creating residual income is the way to
forward. Yeah.
Move forward. Yeah.
Yeah. Think about it. You get 100 people joining the membership. That's $80,000 a year. It's as simple as that. And you can add your own product or service within the membership and get a broader reach.
Yeah. So as John
Let me
is
jump in
thinking membership, that's exactly what math he can
Somebody try to jump in?
I did. Yeah. The one thing that I noticed here is that you're not building this on your own. The membership, you draw upon the people that are in the membership. You know, Lee is an amazing resource when it comes to website and all that development and all the different ways that we can generate, residual income and new income. And Bettina is, you know, she is the one that helped me create so many things that all came together by using all the other resources through the member package, all the benefits, you know, like the 5-minute video clips, the WWTVN spotlight, everything, you know. So when you're out there and you have all these people like the We Empower You members, what happens is you're not creating anything alone. You don't need to. So no matter how insecure you are, you have people, you know, you don't need to worry about knowing it. You just need to know who to call.
Yeah. Like I got sick. I called Debbie. You know?
Yeah, right. Work? I got sick and called Debbie too, by the way.
You know? And
yeah.
Then, you know,
almost everybody can build their own membership, right? So Troy's building a membership. Sally Page, who was here earlier, is building a membership. I'm building a membership. There's others that I'm not seeing who's here building a membership, but there's many, and that the membership is just one of the 10 revenue strategies. Revenue from membership. Now, the next one that I deployed last quarter was to have an affiliate lead referral type situation, and that is coming about now, and that will soon be available to other people to do as well. And so at the end of the day, I've only just begun. I mean, literally in just a year, I've built a recurring income of $40,000. That's phenomenal to me. The government hasn't given that to me. On Social Security, I don't qualify for $40,000 a year. I can guarantee you that. And I'm retirement age, you know. So I can't even imagine. I mean, my mom's 88. She's still running around taking care of her yard, and she lives alone and all that stuff. If I do this for 25 years and I just do exactly what I'm doing, you know, it's $1 million in that lifetime with just stopping right here. So when I think about where this is going and how much energy I have. And, you know, like right now I run a full-time agency, so I don't have time to do all of what I'm doing right now. But at the end of the day, I'm going to start pulling more and more time to do this, because the other thing is what I love about this, to tell you the truth, is all of you. I love helping all of you. I have purpose in the universe when I help people. And the more people I help, that's why I have to do the summits, the happier I am, right? I don't like just doing nothing in the planet. I have always had a mission, a vision to make a lasting impression on the world. And so for me, this is yummy. I love it. But I do say that you have to let go. You have to let go and let Lee, because Lee has some magic there, but it's hard to hook up. And it took me a couple years of knowing Lee before I really let go into it. And then I realized, oh, this is so brainiac.
And Bettina carries for everybody.
And I carry for everybody. Yeah, what was it that you wrote up in that one write-up?
Yeah, Bettina Carey, or Bettina carries.
Yeah. Oh, it was funny. Oh, geez, you said cozy up Carey.
Oh, cozy up Carey. That one. Yeah, cozy up Carey.
She's always playing with my name. So in the interest of taking any last questions, we've got our show coming up on Rainier Avenue Radio at 1:30. Lee and I need to be on the StreamYard link by 1:15. It's a quarter till. We'll take some last minute questions. I'm going to go to Facebook too and see if anybody's asking anything, but open up your mics and ask a question. We're happy to have you here.
Well, thank you so much. I've got to go. So this has been great. I'm glad I asked that question. I got a lot of good answers, a lot of good tips. Thank you so much, everybody. You guys all pitched in on that question. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for asking.
Okay, bye.
Bye for now. And thank you for yesterday.
Yeah, thank you.
It's great
Bye.
talking.
And I too have to go. I have another engagement right now. So thank you guys again. My contact information is in your chat information, and I love talking to you guys. Again, it's always wonderful to talk to people who want to do instead of just talk. So thank you again for your time, and I hope to see you guys again soon.
Thank you, Andre. We look forward to seeing you. Wednesday is our next meeting that you normally come to.
Okay.
And those are at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And the link is on the We Empower WeEmpowerYourLife.com website.
Okay.
You click on the calendar tab and you will have the Zoom link to the Wednesday meeting.
I'll look forward to it.
See you on Wednesday.
All right. Bye-bye,
Bye,
guys.
Bettina. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Tina, I need to go too. I hear a lawnmower out there. I don't want it interfering with you.
Okay, too. Thank you so much for coming today.
You bet. It was a pleasure. I'll be back soon.
Okay.
Okay. So Bettina, you're gonna call me?
Yes, I'll call you right after.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Okay. Bye, everybody. We'll wrap up early today. Take care. Bye.